Sensabaugh Haunted Tunnel. But before I get there, I'm going to check out another tunnel. It's called, I think, the Big Elm Tunnel. It's supposedly the one haunted. Let's see if I can get that. It's a hard place to pull off or no pull off, but I'm going to try to get it. Be there in a minute. So right there is the haunted Big Elm. It's playing right there. It looks more of a drainage, but that's one they say right there is haunted as well. It's kind of got a walkway to it. So yeah, that's it right there. Now we're on the Sensabaugh Road. It takes you to the Sensabaugh Haunted Tunnel, which I've been to several times, even at night time. You can see it in my videos. But the short story of it is, Sensabaugh, who owned this land, and they still do own it, went crazy one time and killed his family, which there's no proof of that. The other story is he let a homeless person stay there, and the guy stole something, and for collateral he took his baby and drowned him in the tunnel. And then the third one is, people used to hang out here all the time, and he used to do pranks and scare people all the time, so they considered it to be haunted because of the things that he did. And there is some other rumors that people, when they were building the railroad, workers were killed there. But that's the story. We're almost there. All right, we're here. Let's see if there's anybody out here today. I don't see anybody. There's been some people stop here. You can see they throw the trash out here. How ridiculous is that? I have a camera out here now. I hope there's nobody coming through, but we're fixing to go through it right now. There's a few holes in here. Yeah, I got a 4-wheel drive. It shouldn't have a problem. This is it. So the rumor is, and you're supposed to do this at night, if you turn it off, your car won't turn on until you see Sensabaugh come behind it. Thank God it started. I need to quit doing that. One of these times it's going to stop. This is it. And as you come up here on the left, this is Sensabaugh house. This is his house up here. There's some new stuff up there, but that's basically the old house right there where Sensabaugh lived. Got a big, look at them daggone dogs out there. Yeah, that's some cool looking dogs. Germans. I guarantee you they're coming after you. This is no trespassing. I'm just backing up. Turn around. Probably say, don't turn around here in my yard or I'll get you. And up there, it's probably his grave. I never noticed that before. That's probably it up there. That's Sensabaugh's grave up there. Wow. Okay, another place up here around Kingsport is called the Rotherwood Mansion. This place has been around since 1818. Originally by a guy named Ross. Last name was Ross, Frederick Ross, and then he had a daughter named Rowena, and she had a lot of bad luck with her husbands. The first one she had, which she truly loved, went fishing in the Holston River and drowned in the river, and they never found his body. And then the second one that she had was actually died of yellow fever. And then the third one, she actually had a daughter there with the third one, but somehow saw the ghost of her first husband and, got in her wedding dress and walked out in the water and drowned and never was found again. So that's the story of that. There's also
another owner after this one called Phipps, and this person, when they died, they claimed that he turned into a black hound and jumped toward the workers and chased them through the house and everything when he died. And they actually dug up his grave one time, I think, and they said, "Hey, he's not there." So that's kind of the story of this place. But it's a really cool looking building and really wonderful place, but very spooky. All right, so this is a story about the Netherland Inn Road and the actual inn, where a long time ago, 1922, there was these guys riding around in a Model T, and they crashed into a bridge, and when a dog ran up in front of them, and some of them died, but several of them lived, and one of them was Hugh Hamlin was the father of one of the boys, Charlie Hamlin, and he, of course, he rushed to the hospital, and it came to find out that Charlie's going to be okay. So his dad was kind of feeling good about that, but when he left, when he wanted to go out to the road, it was foggy and he could barely see. There was some lights coming down the road, and he was actually struck by a car. It didn't kill him immediately, but then he had to go take to the hospital, the same place where his son was at, and eventually he died a couple of days later from his injuries. And they say that his son ears were bleeding when his father died, and of course, that's a tragic story. And that many people say that you go down this road at night, in fog, you can see this well-dressed man in a trench coat and fedora hat and things of that nature standing out in the middle of the road waving his arms. And there's just many people saw this. Also, the inn itself is considered haunted. I mean, it's been there forever. And there's phantom ghosts as well, rumored to be in there, as well as Daniel Boone and some cabins back behind there. Pretty spooky.
Sometimes this place is open, you can actually go in it. Looks like it's been closed for a while. Yeah, there'll be some ghosts in there. Yeah, the whole thing is somewhat closed here. It goes all the way up. There's the top. You talk about a spooky looking place. Now that wind's got me in. Any ghosts in there? Alright. Pretty good view. Alright, so kind of walking around the kind of cool looking walkway in here. Looks like they're restoring it. These are new steps, and that's probably what they're doing to get it ready for. There's some of the old brick, the old part there they kind of showed. Come back down this way. There's dang, more the building right there. So maybe kitchen in there. Alright, let's go check out Daniel Boone's place. So this is cool. It's a series of log cabins back here. It talks about the Boone cabin, schoolhouse, and then you had a Pence log house. It kind of tells a little bit about, what that. So this is the Boone. This is where Daniel Boone stayed, right there, in the 1700s. And they actually had a little schoolhouse right here. Can't really go in it, but yeah, That's what it looked like. Then this must have been like maybe another place to stay, maybe a little store. Reception gift shop, yeah. Yeah, so that's it right there. Cool. Go take a look and see what's in here. Maybe I'll come back someday. I just don't have any. Everything's closed. Alright, cool. So here I am at Long Island, and I'm fixing to cross this bridge right here and hope like heck it doesn't fall. This place is very historical. Also, Daniel Boone and the longboats were here. The Cherokee were here first. Of course, they got kind of ran off later on and cursed this island that no man would ever live here. And nobody does live here. There's a park over there. Eastman Kodak owns the rest of it. And that's kind of cool. Property of Jay Brake and Loretta Davis. There's locks in there. So I think the story of some of these locks, man, this thing is pretty daggone jumpy. It's a windy day. Over the river. I guess a lot of those locks represent people's love or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They put a lock on there and throw the key away. But I thought there were supposed to be two of them locked together, but maybe I'm wrong. Right here it is. We'll check it out. So what I do think is the Cherokee do own a piece of that. I think they gave a piece of this island back to them, and you can see the different things right there, and that's what it says: Sacred Cherokee Ground, relinquished by treaty 1806, but 3.61 acres returned to the Eastern Band, okay, by Kingsport 76. So the Cherokee, we're walking on Cherokee land right now, Cherokee native land. That's what we're walking on right now, on this portion down here. And there's a park over there, and Eastman Kodak owns all the rest of it up that way, which is kind of nasty looking. Through there, past this park here is just industrial. You can see the industrial stuff coming on. So that's the rest of the land, but nobody lives here. Considered haunted. Yeah. Alright, that wind's a blowing. Hopefully it's not being too bad. But over there's Lucille Hall or Clement. And right over here is the parking area. And then right here is this old field that's been here forever. That building wasn't there a long time ago, but back in 1985, if there ever was a ghost story, it would have been right here. Now, I think some of those dorms are haunted, considered, but this has happened in 1985, about right there where that red truck's at, or somewhere thereabout. This all used to be parking back over this direction. There was actually a plane that crashed. Three people were killed. And winds are blowing. And so that's, you know, considered a haunted place right here that a lot of people don't know about. They still hear the plane engines come around at night, because that's what happened, is late at night on a winter cold night, and kept cutting in and cutting out until it exploded and dropped right over there. That's what happened back around 1985. They can still, you know, people say they can still hear that ghost and kind of things. All right, let's get out of here. crash back in 1984. So all was parking lot back then. I actually was parking here during that time to go to school. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, so now I'm in Bristol, Tennessee. This is a story that's handed down to me from my family members, particularly the Hawk brothers that lived up here on Pennsylvania Avenue back in around the 1930s. They were all World War II veterans. It goes back a while. Of course, they're all deceased now. But they told me of this witch-like person that came out one night when they were sleigh riding up here, and they called it Black Annie. Now that's I think A-N-N-I. I don't think it's not associated with any Black Annie shows or TVs or horror movies or anything you see today. This actually happened back in the 30s, plus or minus, when they went sleigh riding. I believe it was the King College that's there now. It used to be a golf course, and this black witch-like thing came out of the woods over their heads, screeching and hollering and chasing them, and they took off running and got out there. And supposedly this was wrote up, and there was other people scared too on this, but it actually happened. So I want to keep the story going. Let's go check it out. So right here, we'll try to turn around here. Yeah, 1924. That's it right there. That's where they live, right there. 1924. Let's see, I'm trying to get out of here. So, the story goes that they came down one of these roads right here and went to this old golf course. It was King University today, so check it out. So this is King University today. As you can see, it's on a lot of hills up here. Now it's different than it was back in the 30s. They did a lot of work on this, but that's kind of where they would have been sleigh riding off this hill up here. And somewhere when they came off one of these hills over there, might have been over there, there was this witch came out of the woods. Could have been over there. This all could have been wooded back then. I don't know. This is it.
So the main thing of the story was when they were sleigh riding out here later in the night, they saw this big black winged looking witch screeching and screaming above their heads and flying over, so they all took off running. And there was other people around too that took off running as well. And you know, the reason was a write-up in the paper somewhere about this story the next day, but they always told me it was, you know, Black Annie, and it was really something there. They don't know what it was. Pretty spooky.
Story up here in Bristol that my dad told me was about Bishop's Cave. Bishop's Cave was actually called Bristol Caverns today. But the reason why it was called Bishop's Cave is because there was this lady back then, a long time ago, I guess in the 30s or somewhere thereabouts, and she was very pretty, and there was some scandal or marriage thing, and I think one of the ladies had her murdered, and they put her body in the cave. That's where they hid her, and that's where the Bishop's Cave came from. So it's well known to be haunted because of that, and they changed the name later because they didn't want it to be associated with the murder like that. But also, when I went here as a kid, they always said that there was So here it is. They call it Bristol Caverns. Today it's closed, obviously. Can't go in it. I think it's a long ways down there. I came here as a kid. I had a field trip, and I remember asking the dude about that. He says, yeah, we just don't call it that because, you know, it's associated with the murder.